What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm your host, Nick Scarpino, alongside the second best baby blues in all of San Francisco, maybe the universe, Mr. Tim Gettys.
Thank you very much. Let's him host.
And of course, the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas Street Latino Heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe-trodden headshot nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Mr. Andy Cortez.
High kick right there.
Whoa,
dude, yeah,
that was high, dude.
That was high, dude.
I know.
And Greg, of course, will not be joining us today. He just finished his stint at E3, and he is tie-tie. So go on his Instagram and look for lots of pictures of him sleeping with Portillo, because I'm sure they're coming.
Greg, he's tie-tie.
He's tie-tie. And Joey might join us a little bit later, so I'm just going to intro her now. And joining us, of course, at Christmas everywhere she goes, Joey Noel. Just giving her that. Get it out of the way. Because here's what I got to take. I got another bone to pick. This has become...
Oh, Jesus.
This has become the bone to pick.
Nick.
Pick the bone. We get in a good flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see Greg waiting. We're 30 minutes into the show. Andy and Tim and I and Kev, we're all riffing. And then Greg waits for the lull. And then because he thinks it's hilarious, then he does the intro. He hits us with the intro. We're 5 minutes away from being done with a podcast. He has to introduce this thing because he's like some sort of hosting robot that just has to do the thing.
Just
my
let
thing
the flow
is,
go. Yeah.
let it go. Let the flow go. It should be like you're peeing outside and you don't get caught by the cops. You know, like you get caught, and then you have to release it later. This should be just you're out by yourself. You feel the breeze. You just go, and it doesn't matter where. If the wind picks it up, it's not going to hit anyone. It's going to be great.
If it becomes airborne, that's nature.
That's what God and the wind, Mother Wind, wanted.
Mother Wind herself. Yeah,
I was
gotta love it. I love that while Greg's been gone on E3, that has allowed the three of us to bond, on this here Kind of Funny podcast. But not just us.
God, yeah.
I love that it's been us and Joey. Like I love that Joey's just our de facto homie that just like comes through and hangs out with us. And like I also love that Joey, I think, loves all three of us equally, but also hates all three of us equally, but for totally different reasons.
Just enough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good back and forth. Tim, how are you feeling? Oh, speaking of Joey, Christmas in July.
I knew it. I knew she was coming.
June.
So I was just like,
we're doing video, babe, Kev.
If that doesn't fuck everything up. If not, I can
he's ready. He's ready. Look at Kevin. He's ready to go.
I do. I want to throw something out there. Kevin had before and Tim, hold that thought because I want to come back to it. But did you guys notice? I forget what we were on, but Kevin, we were on a call with him, and it was the Loki in review that we did this morning. So everyone should go check that out if it's live ready. Kevin goes, I'm out of sync, and then like took the clip, like the magazine, out of his wireless headphones, and then like took another one out of his quick draw holster, and like shoved it in, and it was the most John Wick thing, and it sounded like click slack.
It was like what it reminded me of is Tony Stark replacing the fucking like chest thing when he's like the arc raid is like, oh, I'm out of sync, and he like gets another one, like snaps it.
Oh my god,
it didn't work. I had to take my headphones off just because I was like a full half second off sync, and it's so hard to talk when that happens.
Oh, your voice was off. I see. Okay, got it.
And completely understand that.
That's always a bummer, Kevin.
Oh, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know the spiel, the glockenspiel, the rigmarole. This is the Kind of Funny podcast where each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around these mics, each bringing some stuff to talk about for your amusement. Of course, we couldn't do any of this without all of you out there who are watching and listening to this show. And some of you are amazing human beings that go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny and back us at the tier that allows me to read your names right now, just like Donovan Harkness and Joshua Schroeder and Delaney Twining and Julian, the gluten-free gamer, and of course, Steve Rogers Powers. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for all of your support. And if you want to go support us, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny. Back us at any tier. It really, really helps. Of course, if you don't have the bucks to give, no big deal. Just subscribe to our channel and make sure you tell every single person that you see, just in general, every day, to subscribe to the channel also, because it's working and we're almost at 300,000
working
on our main channel. And I like that a lot. Tim keeps telling me it doesn't matter. He says it's not the quantity of views, it's the quality of views, which is very, very true. But
I
also,
am
quantity
so
is awesome.
shocked you didn't use the word girth in any way in that sentence. I swear to God, you're going to say it's not the quantity of views. It's
look at the type of person, Nick. What type of person does Tim think you are?
What does he think I am?
What
baby?
Type of person?
A dirty monster. That's
a delinquent. A delinquent.
Freaking delinquent.
It's not that. It's Joe. It's not that I'm a delinquent. It's just that we all know that there's low hanging fruit, and I'm short. So that's
Oh shit!
That's what we go for, right,
dude? That was too good.
I can't pick up this mid-tier hanging fruit like Tim and Greg can, because me and Andy are like, we'll wait for it to fall into our hands.
That's Nick saying. My E3 saying over the weekend was, "This is a visual feast, and I'm hungry." And Nick's is that's low-hanging fruit, and I'm short. I like that, Nick.
It's so good.
Someone put that on my wiki. Also,
really
someone, if you go to fix my Wikipedia, I was born in 1980, not 1981. But I'll take the extra year. You want to keep doing that and keep
Nick, you're
so
close to like being in the 70s range.
Super close.
Like, isn't that like really scary? Because once that digit changes, like that digit being a digit before really kind of worrisome, and you were like right on the border of like kind of still being young-ish for a while. But goddamn, if you were 1979, it would look a lot worse for you. We
wouldn't be able to defend you.
I'll tell you what, I like to live my life on the edge, and I live my life right on the cusp. January 1980, just slid right over that line last minute, last second.
Yeah.
Right? My mom it was December 31st, 1970. My mom was like, I'm ready. And I'm like, I'm holding on for dear life. I'm like, I got 13 more days in me, lady. I got to cook for just a little while longer so I can be entertaining on a podcast 42 years from now. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we do this podcast twice a week, sometimes with cool best friends like Jerry O'Connell or Anna Sales or Rahul Kohli. So make sure you guys check back for all of those episodes because they're cool. Like part interview, part hanging out, part getting to know everyone. And of course, this weekend, if you're in the Bay Area for Father's Day and need something fun to do with dear old dad, bring him out to Comedy on the Bay. I'll be there with headliner Morgan J, rocking 2 shows a night on Friday and Saturday. So come on out for a cruise and on the Bay and some laughs. Grab your tickets. Comedy on the Bay.
Is there booze on this cruise?
Oh, it's a booze cruise. Yeah. Oh, for sure. And our bartender likes to get people drunk. So he pours very, very, and then we have snacks too. No food, but snacks. So we have Snickers bars if you guys want. I recommend a bullet bourbon on the rocks and a Snickers bar at about 10 o'clock at night. It's very, very good.
Secret Snickers.
Secret Snickers. Thank you, Joey. Nick, are you finally coming around on Snickers? Because you're kind of if there's a Snickers or Reese's, I'm going to take the Reese's.
Okay.
Which
hold that thought, because I do want to give a shout out real quick. This podcast is brought to you by Faraday Brand and Final Fantasy, but we'll get to those two a little bit later. Andy, I don't think you were on when we had this discussion because I think it was Discord and I think it was at 1 o'clock in the morning. Or was it, when did we talk about this?
This was the stream yesterday, also known as Discord at 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's all coming together. There is just a hierarchy for me of movie candies, and Reese's peanut butter cups are the GOAT to me, just because they're easy. You get a lot of them. King size Reese's, of course. If you try to take like that, it's not a shareable thing. Whereas I will occasionally
impossible to share. It's not like there's 4 predetermined pieces that you could
individually wrapped.
No, I'm with you though.
As
Nick,
opposed to the Snickers is just one piece.
You don't get enough, right? It's you don't share. If it's the candy bar you buy at the Walgreens, you don't share. If it's the bag that's got the bite-sized little Snickers bars, Andy, share all day. I love those things. It's just I get nervous when that's the only candy.
That's understandable. Yeah.
I need there to be a little bit of variance, maybe a little more crunch, maybe some more peanut butter, something like that. I need to be able to because here's the thing. I try and fail most days to eat somewhat healthfully so that when we do go to see Fast 9, I want a smorgasbord of candies in front of me. I want a Las Vegas 2 o'clock in the afternoon buffet where it's like anything from pudding to frozen yogurt, whatever you want. That's what I want in front of me because we haven't been in a movie theater, seen a Fast and Furious movie. We're supposed to see this movie, Tim, 178 days ago, or whatever the hell the count is. We got to go. That's where I'm at with. That's where I'm at with Snickers bars.
I appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out though to something I haven't ever thought about before involving candy bars, which is Nick bringing up you go to Walgreens, 7-Eleven, or whatever. There's just the normal bar, but then there's the king size bar. The fact that they had the balls to just be like, it's the king size bar. It's not the share bar.
It's fit for a king.
It's literally in the case of Reese's, it's just, hey, you are getting way more of this than you're supposed to put in your body at one time. But you know what? We're giving you that option. You are a king. You get to make this choice, king. Go off, king. Go off.
I kind of, Nick, really quick, I want it right here, right now, in front of millions of listeners and watchers.
Right here.
I want to improve the Reese's cup.
Ooh.
If you'll allow it.
Impossible.
I want to improve the Reese's cup. So here's my
Andy, present it like it's an E3 showcase.
And this is coming from a gigantic Reese's fan, mind you, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here today. Everybody knows that Snickers is a fantastic snack. You eat it, it's soft with a little bit of crunch, and people love that. When we talk about Reese's, though, it is all a soft texture. And I'm happy to let you know that the team back in Edmonton has been working day and night, crunching like crazy. They haven't seen their family in a year tops, right? Like several months for sure. The team's been working really, really hard to bring you Reese's Max. Everybody cheers. Everybody claps.
So the hashtag pops up at the bottom of the screen. Crunch for crunch.
Right, yeah, crunch exactly. Crunch. Now with Reese's, we talk about two things: chocolate and peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. Those are the main two, only two.
But what if we added a third piece of the puzzle?
Ooh,
that piece is toffee bits. And it's little bits of toffee in the peanut butter cup. Nothing too crazy. Don't get fucking wild. This isn't me talking on E3 stage anymore, by the way. This is just me, Andy.
It'd be amazing if it was you, though. If midway through a game demo, don't get fucking wild, journalists.
No, don't get fucking crazy. I don't want you to blow this shit out of proportion, okay? We love
just a remaster. We're not adding any levels.
We love a Reese's cup. But what if there were tiny little crunchy bits of toffee to add that texture? What if we made the chocolatey version of a nerd's rope, right? You have that sort of soft bits, and then you have the crunchy bits of nerd.
You lost me on that one.
No. Because you don't like that texture? That's a fantastic texture. You don't like that texture? Okay, not a nerd's rope.
Branding.
Joe, you know what I should have gone with? Joe, I should have gone with the Laffy Taffy ones that have the crunchy little pieces of candy.
You need to make that kind of analogy.
Okay,
I think you have a strong. I think you just have a strong product that can speak for itself. Because I thought you were going to go with crunchy peanut butter on the inside, and I was like, oh, that's okay. But the toffee, that's an interesting one. A little to add a little bit of a crunch.
I'm into it. So back when we were children, this is me back on the E3 stage. Mm-hmm. Whenever I would eat a sandwich, I always thought, I'm not a huge fan of just this completely soft texture. And then my father said, why don't you put some barbecue potato chips in that sandwich? And the sandwich has been transformed ever since. Putting a chip in a sandwich, fantastic. Putting crunchy toffee bits in a Reese's peanut butter cup, godlike. Nobody should ever be able to do this, and we are doing it. And we are happy to say that it is releasing this fall 2021. And the crowd goes fucking wild. People are vomiting in the stands. Like, people are shitting their pants all over the place. It's crazy out there.
I just shit my pants in joy. It's only happened one other time at a Nirvana concert. That's amazing. First off, allow me to rebut, if I will.
Sure.
As a person who's been a diehard Reese's Peanut Butter Cup fan my entire life, the thing that I like most about them is the ease with which you can eat a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And now I'll eat them sometimes, the whole cup. I'll just stuff it in my mouth, and then I'll just kind of slowly mash it
on it, right?
Sort of suck it down. I sort of suck it down into my throat. I don't really chew too much. If I get a half a bite, Tim, I'm for sure sucking. I'm not chewing at all.
Yep.
And what that allows me to do is it sort of skins the outer chocolate from the top and bottom of the cup, allowing my taste buds access to the flavorful peanut butter in the middle. Now, if you add something sharp in there or something that's going to get stuck in remember, I'm not chewing. I'm like a whale. I'm just brushing everything into my mouth.
Sure, yeah.
And if I'm not chewing, it's going to get stuck in my throat. And you're basically, you're killing half the people who are going to eat this candy.
See, I'm kind of with Nick, but with a slight difference where I'm a little less worried about choking on the toffee. It's more the toffee. Toffee I love, and I love the crunch factor. I love where you're coming from the texture, but it does get stuck in your teeth, and that's annoying. It kind of ruins your entire experience for the rest of the day. You know what I'm talking about? It's like sour candy ripping up your mouth. Toffee just gets you in there. You're using your tongue starts getting all raw. I don't like that at all. What I will say though is shout out to you, Nick, for eating Reese's Peanut Butter Cups the same way I do, which is to just kind of take it in and let it all happen. But I do think, Andy, something that might solve your problem. It's not as advanced as toffee, but even just the little baby miniature Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. those, because of the
ratio
the ratio of chocolate to peanut butter, the chocolate's always crunchier. So it does add that, like, you can't pop one of those in your mouth and, suck it down like Nick.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, you can try, but you're going to be fighting it, right? Because I have tried, right? So what you do need to do is, there's two ways to eat that candy. Obviously, you throw it in your mouth, you start chewing it, or you do what I think is the pro maneuver. You bite the hard shell off the top of it, eat that thing, or spit it out like a grenade. Yeah, spit it out, and then shove the
little thing.
Yeah, you eat it, you spit it out, and then you gum the rest of it, and that way you get just a straight shot of peanut butter right to your tongue as like a little speed stick roll on right on your tongue. Super tasty.
Yeah, speed stick roll on, exactly like that.
So anyway, it's been fascinating. Let me tell you. One candy very weirdly.
Joe, one thing is like,
I love it.
Is that these fucking fools think that it needs improvement somehow? Because I think I got it the first try by adding toffee bits. So like, I don't need your advice. Okay.
I would like to see what a Reese's with crunchy peanut butter on the inside is like.
I think they have those. So the thing is, like, the Reese's, they've been experimental.
They do.
So I think they have those. They also have the king size, which is like the double. They've also the big Reese's, which is just too much. It throws off the ratio. It's like a double stuffed Oreo. It's not right.
They've also added pretzel bits, I believe, to Reese's cups, like the big gigantic ones. The ones that I have tried that do add a pretty nice little texture is, like Nick was mentioning, these jumbo gigantic Reese's, but they have Reese's pieces inside of them.
No.
Ooh.
Yes.
Too far, science. Too far.
There's not enough difference to add Reese's pieces on the inside.
Also, they're always going to be
but the texture difference is there, Joe. It's all about the texture.
It's just the candy coating, but then it's just like more peanut. I don't like these big crunchy cup things that Tim linked us. I don't know if Kevin's showing this or not.
Because here's the thing, I'm not
peanut pieces are too big.
I'm not necessarily adding toffee to a Reese's because I like how the tastes might form an ultimate taste. I'm mostly adding it for the texture, but I don't get me wrong, I love toffee. I love the way toffee tastes. And I'm a toffee taster.
I don't want you to think that I am anti-toffee. We're not anti-toffee at this company.
We're pro-toffee.
If you want to tell me, hey, I've got a nice, moist, freshly baked chocolate chip cookie coming right out of the oven, and guess what? I'll put a little toffee in there for you for a little crunch and a little bite. That's good. Perfection to me. It's just, everything is about that balance. And for me, since I was a kid, ever since I had the original, and this is the thing too, is like, I'll say it right now, and I know people are afraid to say this, but Tim, I'm not a coward. I'm brave. I don't like the little ones as much as the big ones. In fact, I think the little ones just don't need to exist.
I like the little ones way more than the big ones.
Oh.
For the Reese's, here's my problem with the big Reese's is I think it's too much to put in your mouth at one time.
Half and half.
But I feel like that's the only option, because if you take bites of the big ones, then it melts so quickly and then you have chocolate all over your fingers. I like the little ones because you can just pop them in.
Sure, but then
I don't want to lick my fingers in the middle of a movie theater.
Yeah, you lick your fingers, and what you do, Joe, is in order to dry
in the
them,
car if I'm on a road
you
trip.
dry them off right on the little like armrest that everyone uses, the communal armrest. That's what it's for.
Disgusting. I will not be participating in that kind of activity.
Again, I know we've talked about peanut butter cups for a long time. I'm just gonna say, as a counter argument, Joey, more often than not, you gotta unwrap those little things. And they're annoying to unwrap. And also half of them are always exposed to the air, which leaves me wondering, like, what other particles have these things been exposed to? Whereas if you go to Target during Halloween time, this is a pro maneuver, you get for like $2, you get a full package of individually wrapped big cups that are COVID compliant and safe, and you can just shove those bad boys right into your mouth. I don't know why I brought COVID into this.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I don't know why I did that. Don't worry about COVID when you're eating your treats in the privacy of your own home.
Oh, who are you disrespecting?
I don't know.
I want to talk about
COVID?
toffee.
I don't know.
I want to talk about toffee for a second, because Andy, until this moment, I've never given toffee the respect it goddamn deserves. I love it. I love it more than anything. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Toffee's just like God tier across the board. And I feel like everyone has to agree with that. Like, I feel like toffee just should be in everything sweet, period. It just makes it better.
I think a lot of people are like you, Tim, where they just kind of accept it as this universally loved thing, but maybe aren't singing its praises and preach and don't tell it down the mountain preaching on the mountain.
It's just weird that people still use things that aren't toffee in place of toffee, and I feel similarly about
like
Nutella.
Hazelnut?
Like we know that Nutella exists. Why is it not in more places? Or condensed milk. Condensed milk it's too fucking good.
I'll tell you why, man. It's because big pharma or big whatever that makes these things fights against it. And for instance,
confection.
you know why toffee is not more popular? Because big caramel is fighting against it. They're like, we don't want you.
I get it.
We don't want you to be eating anything other than a soft caramel. Why? Because you can eat more caramel per second than you can with toffee because it fucks up your
mouth. And it's way cheaper to make.
Is toffee
caramel.
just not harder caramel?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
Toffee is a connection made by caramelized sugar or molasses along with butter and occasionally flour. So there might be a couple more. I think caramel is just sugar. Right?
I mean, look, here's the thing. If I'm at a local CVS or if I happen to get some sort of ice cream, maybe cookie dough, and if I see a Score bar, if I see a Heath bar, I'm grabbing one of those little suckers and I'm breaking it up and I'm putting it in the ice cream because it adds such a perfect texture. It is one of the best taste complementers, right? It's not like you can. I'm thinking of a lot of sort of tastes that aren't in the fruity category, right? I'm talking more like caramel, like chocolate, like vanilla, like all of that sort of stuff that you
savory or sweet flavors.
Yeah, that I'm trying to think of the word, Joe. Like, is there a word that's like
I don't know,
like stuff that would be in a blizzard
it's the thing that's like no longer described as nuggets. It becomes nougat all of a sudden.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, but I don't know where we put that in, right? Because like you wouldn't mix peanut butter and chocolate. You wouldn't put Reese's Bits in ice cream along with Skittles. Like that should
and that's Andy. That's why we were like kind of turned off when you brought up the Nerds Rope. And it was like, well, you're talking about texture, but it was just an association thing.
Oh, got it. It kind of threw you off. Yeah, it was like I don't want to think of orange juice when I'm talking about chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, I want to think about milk. I see what you're saying.
Now,
yeah, I'm trying to think of things that like I don't think toffee is really an offensive partner. I think it could be partnered with so many of those different flavors and find its place. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a plug and play player. You know, you sign toffee off the bench. You're gonna put it in your lineup, and it's gonna get you 16 points, and it's gonna fight for rebounds, like, and Andy, get you to the playoffs. You know.
Let me paint a little picture for you here.
Okay.
You and I, we get called up to the big league. Someone hires us for Vancouver E3 2022 or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
We go up to a hotel. The next we have just burn it out at night. Just burn it out. You know,
what does that mean?
Cocktails, parties. We're the bell of the ball. People are loving us, man. They're just like, is that Andy and Nick from that show that Tim canceled? And we're like, that is Andy.
Yeah. And then I look at them and I'm like, actually, I'm glad that he canceled it. Like I kind of wanted. I was the one.
Less work. We canceled it.
I didn't want to do it, honestly. Yeah.
Next morning we wake up. Go down to the hotel. You know, you do the thing where Greg's up there already up in the hotel restaurant because he's been up since 4:00 in the morning. You're like, how do you do this? Who comes in and like logs into you at that time and wakes you up?
Right.
And the waitress comes over and says, Greg's already ordered you some coffee. I bring you a hot cup of coffee with a side of toffee.
Oh, just a little
crunch.
Coffee toffee.
Get you going in the morning.
A little coffee toffee. They call it the Cortez special, a little coffee toffee.
A little coffee toffee.
Just a little crunch, right?
Toffee.
You don't need
my coffee toffee.
You don't exactly, Tim. Thank you. You don't need anything too crazy to crunch on. Like I think about seeing what Gary Whitta tweeted the other day, how he put a little bit of Nutella inside of his coffee, and he said, "It's as good as you think it does. It works."
It should be. Yeah.
And I thought, goddamn, that's a genius fucking idea, dude.
I'm right there with you, Andy, with like these like categories of things that just go together. Because I imagine myself. Let me paint a picture for you. Okay. It's me and you. We walk in. We walk into. Yeah. Nick can come too. Okay. Joey, it's up to you if you want to come. You have the invite, but there's no pressure at all.
He's not coming to this.
You do know Nick's coming too. So
yeah. I want to hear the rest of the story before I decide. I'm a hard maybe.
We go into Cold Stone. All right. We start walking. I start looking like, what would you like? And I'll go through it real quick in my mind. I'm like it, love it, gotta have it. And I'm like, I'm going to take a gotta have it. And then Gia looks at me and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a love it. We're going down. You're right.
Oh, Gia's going too?
Oh, yeah. Gia's there.
Then I'm going
to Objection.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Overruled.
It's the size.
Cold Stone?
Of Cold Stone ice cream.
I
didn't know that either.
Love it. Like gotta have it. are the levels.
Oh, so it's like their venti sort of whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you gotta have it way too much ice cream.
For most people. So much ice cream.
Sorry, Kevin. For most people. But here I'm okay, cool. I'm getting love it. And then I get that the chocolate peanut butter ice cream because it's fantastic there and it has real peanut butter in it.
Oh, that's the best.
It's not just peanut butter flavoring. It's freaking real. What do they call them, Joey? Give me the word. It's not dollop.
Swirls.
Ribbons.
It has ribbons of peanut butter. And then I asked them, Andy, they're like, oh, would you like a topping? And I'm thinking in my mind, it might be too much. I don't need anything. There's already a lot of flavors going on. But I look down and I see those Heath bars.
Yeah.
I see those Heath bars. They're already pre-crunched. You know what I mean? You get that toppy in there. Boom. I'm having such a good time. I leave that place and I stop and I think, should have got the gotta have it. Should have got the gotta have it.
Tim, this is really exciting right now because when I go to the Smart and Final grocery store, they have an ice cream section where it's all of the Hershey kind of, here's a strawberry syrup, here's a chocolate syrup, here's the Smucker's kind of chocolatey drizzle syrups that you could just make a crazy ice cream with. And they have the gigantic fucking bag of smushed up Heath Bar toffee bits. Like, I'm talking like a bag this goddamn big for audio listeners, maybe like 2 feet tall by like 2 feet wide. It is just like a big clump of just broken up things. And it's mostly meant for people maybe who are trying to make profit off of ice cream and probably going to, put it in. But I fantasize about having that bag and having no responsibilities and just snacking on it. Maybe rewatching Breaking Bad. I don't know what I'm doing, but it sounds really
living your best life, really.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, thank you. Maybe I got a Spurs game on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around here in my head.
Yeah. Speaking of candy that you feel maybe a guilty pleasure, maybe a slight bit more guilty than pleasure about. I got a king size Snickers the other day. Andy, you were talking about the king size treats, which normally are great. And I'm not saying that I'm not sitting out here trying to disrespect Snickers because who was talking about? Was it Tim? Oh, Tim was talking about it. Who talked about the king size thing?
Andy was talking about Snickers. I was talking about king size.
King size. So Tim, with the king size Reese's peanut butter cup, 100%. King size Snickers bars did an interesting thing. You guys ever had one of these?
Mm-mm.
Isn't it?
I mean, yeah,
just 2 bars.
It's like 2 bars, but they're smaller than the normal king. Snickers
yeah, they're not full bars. Yeah.
And here's what I don't like about this is that I'm getting the king size Snickers bar as like a low key. I know I shouldn't fucking get the king size Snickers bar, but when you pour out not 1 but 2 bars out of the bag, you're stuck with that stark realization that you're eating 2 Snickers bars in one setting, and I don't like that. So the king size Reese's is just 1 more cup. Actually, it's 2 more cups. It's fine. But
is it 3 or 4?
I think it's 4.
I think it's 3.
Is it
4
3?
sounds insane.
No, it's 4. I've seen 4 a lot, and I've seen 4 especially during fundraisers.
I would have sworn it was 3.
I think king size is 3, and I think 4 is when we start getting to Cherville. Or something, but I don't know. There's no way we could possibly figure this out.
No, it's 4 peanut butter cups. King size 4 peanut butter cups, 200 calories.
Don't ever doubt me.
So how is that different than the 2 Snickers bars then?
Because for some reason, the fact that they come in individual cups is fine. I'm just
you can like compartmentalize them away.
But when you expect just a big log of Snickers and you get 2, it's like those 2 little things are looking up at you and be like judging you. Like, dude, are you gonna eat both of us right now? And I'm like, I don't know. I might as well have just bought 2 Snickers bars and called it a day. I don't know. I still ate the shit out of both of them.
Yeah,
and I cut them up with a little knife and ate them with iced coffee just throughout the day. It was
look, because here's the thing: when the commercial says hungry, why wait? Right? Like it's.
I'm not gonna wait.
I think you can eat a Snickers to satiate hunger, but with Reese's, it's more to just you want to taste something good. And I think it's the solid bits of the Snickers that makes you kind of feel like you're eating something that is gonna take away that hunger for a bit.
Like it's just more substance.
Yeah, where the Reese's, like obviously it's a very smooth and kind of soft tasting thing, but it doesn't really feel like you are removing hunger in any way. You're just kind of, I just want to taste this good tasting thing because it's sweet.
It's pure candy at that point. You're not trying to get any sort of, there's like, It's just for fun. What is this thing you just linked us to here, Tim?
Kev, if you could just bring that up, please. I found a website of a family that took it upon themselves to really get to the bottom of the differences between all the different Reese's sizes, because apparently there's a lot. If you could scroll down just a little bit, there's the family.
Look at the time. The minis suck. I'm gonna say that right now.
I don't like the minis.
Oh, the minis are the worst.
Go down one more picture, Kev. I don't like this picture at all.
Oh
no, I don't like it.
It looks like the solar system.
You guys, this is the reality of stuff, though. This is what you're
my very mother.
Taco does not age well.
Pluto.
Go back down 2. There we go. This is what I wanted to bring up. They all have names. There's the minis, which are different than the miniatures.
Miniatures are is the starting point. Fuck the thins.
Are the ones you get Easter, right?
Yeah, and like Halloween,
the ones that are individually wrapped,
foil wrapped ones.
So
I think the mini ones only come in a
minis?
big.
The minis are like what you put on ice cream.
Minis are in a bag. Minis are in a bag, and they are not wrapped individually. Yeah, and they taste so much different because of the chocolate to peanut butter ratio. They don't taste
way more chocolate. There's way more chocolate.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I've never had a thin. I've never had a thin
or a snack.
I've never had the snack. Well, actually, I think the snack is what comes in like
the individuals.
No, the
like a Lunchables.
Like, Lunchable, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Those weird where like the wrapping's the whole like the paper feels different. The orange paper.
Yeah.
So you could have 60 minis.
Such a dumb show we're doing, guys.
60 minis or one of the world's largest cup that you see here.
No.
For the same amount of calories.
I don't want that much either, though.
Okay,
this is like the Oreo where there's too much stuffing, and at a certain point, it's not good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at that thank you cup, which is the second largest cup, and if I'm not looking at the numbers of calories, I'm assuming it's got at least 2,000 to 3,000 calories. I'm kind of shocked it's 720.
720, dude. 2 full rotations.
That's the thing is like I don't where are you seeing the calories? Okay, yeah. So what's one of the normal cups?
Normal cup is regular. That is 90 calories. Oh wait, 105.
Yeah, 105. That's actually not. I mean, that's actually not terrible for a 2-pack.
420 when you eat the whole king size. Nice.
I just don't understand what the point is of having the snack size and the regular, because there's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it's a shipment thing, you know. Lunchables just packs those for whatever reason.
I saw a TikTok talking about how I've always heard from British people that our chocolate is awful, and it's because it's got that ingredient found in like bile. Like people in the UK will eat our chocolate and be like, it tastes like vomit, and that's because they have a similar ingredient, like the chemicals found in bile and vomit are part of what we make in our. Like a part of how we make chocolate over here in the States. And I'm not sure exactly how true that is, but it was in a TikTok, so it's got to be true.
Yeah,
what's the difference between using cocoa or cocoa, you know?
Cacao.
No, that's
nobody
not
knows
the
how
one.
to actually
Cacao, indeed. I will say when I travel, I love eating chocolate overseas. I think the milk chocolate over in Europe is way better.
Here we go. According to the Business Insider, British chocolate tends to have higher fat and cocoa content. American-made chocolate typically contains a larger dose of sugar. British rules dictate that for a snack to be considered milk chocolate, it must include 25% cocoa solids at the very least. But in this video, it was 4 people being like, yeah, it tastes like vomit. Here we go. Why does U.S. chocolate taste like vomit? American chocolate is renowned for its slightly sour, tangy taste. This breaks down the fatty acids in milk. The chemical gives vomit its very distinctive smell and acid taste.
Nice.
That's so gross. Like,
can you bring the site back up? There's one more picture I wanted to bring up.
It's incredibly gross.
Because I feel like our sense of scale is really off. Because I was looking at this world largest, and it definitely is large, but I didn't expect it to be quite as big as it is. Can you go a couple pictures down? One more.
Huge.
Holy shit.
That's big.
Gigantic.
That is
too much.
I couldn't do it.
I don't like being able to see the differences in the layers and all that stuff. It starts looking too artificial and too fake. I need it to be just small enough to be kind of cute. I also don't like, and I know this is sort of indicative of chocolate that's for whatever reason, maybe it's been stored in the wrong temperature, or it was like cooked wrong. I don't like when it gets like the stuff on top of it. If you scroll back up to the pictures, you see the little film of the white stuff on top of it. I know that always freaks me out. I still eat it, but I think to myself, if you get sick, this is why.
Nah, and then, it's a thing in the chocolate business that they call it blooming. The chocolate has bloomed. It's nothing bad. He was a little fire.
Wait, stop. Over under, show of hands. Did he just make that up?
Is this a Zarf situation?
No, Kevin knows too much about chocolate.
I'm trying to think why he might know this. His sister worked at Godiva for a long time.
That's what I think it is.
And Cool Greg worked at Ghirardelli, but I don't think Cool Greg knows all that much about chocolate.
Yeah, but
he is the ice cream
Greg
king,
wasn't the manager. He was the ice cream king.
Chocolate blooming.
But yeah, my sister worked at
that is a thing.
Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory in Tahoe.
Oh, I love that place.
She like ran that place for
so good.
years. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, but
that's the place that makes their fudge, right?
Yeah,
they make
they have like a billion different and like caramel covered apples and shit, right?
Fudge is one of those things where if you put a plate of fudge in front of me, I will eat myself until I go blind with it. I will go into a diabetic shock. I love fudge so much, and I will just keep going back for it. That if I go to buy, like Dee won't let me buy fudge. She has to go buy it for me because I'll be like, she goes, just get a little tiny thing of normal fudge.
I'll come back with 5 different.
I'll come back with 5 different versions of it. I'll be like, I mean, come on, this one's got caramel in it. It's totally different.
Caramel.
Caramel.
No one's ever
Carmel. What's the difference?
Carmel.
Spelled caramel.
Well, no, Carmel is a place, but caramel's like a way people say caramel.
Oh, that's just a different pronunciation for it.
Yeah, just different pronunciation.
The incorrect pronunciation is when you say caramel. It is in fact caramel. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. You are the chocolate.
I feel like most people say caramel.
Yeah, they're missing an A.
Like a caramel macchiato.
I've always said caramel.
You got to say it. You got to be bougie with it. You say caramel. If there's a word you can say that can annoy Kevin, but he can't correct you, you got to do that.
It's one of those words I avoid saying as much as possible, just because like I feel like no matter what, people are gonna call me out for saying it wrong, and it's like, okay, well, fuck you. First off, second off, no one knows how to say it. That's just a fact.
It's true. If I say it and I love it and I mean it, then that's the way it is. Let's call it caramel from now on. I'm gonna get some fudge with some caramel in it. Kevin, how does that sit with you?
He's not happy about it. I don't believe.
What do you think he's doing right now?
He's reloading the magazine into one of his headphones.
It's one of those words that can be pronounced a lot of different ways. And speaking of words, here's one from our sponsors.
This show is brought to you by Faraday Brand. Can it be? It's finally summer, and we're actually gonna have a real summer this year. So naturally, we started thinking about looking good after a year and some change, because we're going places. This summer is what Kinda Funny is calling Hot Boy Summer. You saw my jean jacket, you see the haircut, we're doing it big this summer. And that's where Faraday comes in, to make the perfect clothes for summer. Faraday is a family-run brand making high-quality, timeless clothing with modern design and functionality. You know when you're searching for that ideal summer outfit, that set, that shirt, that dress that feels like you've had them for years. Maybe it's in a gorgeous print and it fits so perfectly that it feels almost too good to be vintage, but still looks like it might be. Well, that's Faraday. Tim Gettys is the most stylish person I know, and even he loves Faraday brand clothing. And they're so confident in the quality of their stuff, they have a lifetime guarantee of quality. They'll replace or fix your clothes forever, no matter what. And to top it all off, Faraday is giving all our listeners 20% off. That's 20% off. So stock up on all your clothes for the summer now. Head to FaradayBrand.com and use code MORNING at checkout to snag 20% off all your summer gear. That's code MORNING at Faraday, F-A-H-E-R-T-Y, brand.com for 20% off. We're also brought to you by Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. It's time to join the resistance because Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for PlayStation 5 is here. The shadowy Shinra Corporation is draining the planet's life force for their own gain, but all is not lost. The mercenary Cloud Strife teams up with Tifa, Barret, and Aerith to take Shinra down. Whether they succeed depends on you. We are so excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This definitive edition of the award-winning Final Fantasy VII Remake has expanded graphical, gameplay, and system enhancements, and it brings Final Fantasy's visuals to a new level. It's got more realistic backgrounds, it's got better lighting, it's all around beautiful to look at. Intergrade also gives you the ability to switch between graphics mode if you want 4K, and performance mode if you prefer super smooth action with 60 frames per second. On top of it, Intergrade even comes with episode Intermission, a brand spanking new episode featuring Wutai Ninja Yuffie as the main character. Play as Yuffie as she conspires with Avalanche HQ to steal the ultimate materia from the Shinra Electric Power Company. Play as new characters and enjoy an expanded gameplay experience featuring multiple new combat additions. And if you've already bought Final Fantasy VII Remake for PS4, you can download a free enhancement for the PS5 console. Episode Intermission is available as a separate purchase after you upgrade. Buy Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for PlayStation 5 today. Go to squex.link/remakeKFMS. That is SQEX.link/remakeKFMS.
Ooh, that was
perfect,
good.
Andy. I was just about to do that. You rocked. Coming out of that, guys, shifting gears because we have in fact talked about Reese's peanut butter cups for 36 minutes.
Hold on, I have something else to pose. I don't think we take a question from Patreon because I've been kind of wanting to talk about this for a while.
Throw it
Are
out
you
there.
talking about Werther's?
No. How?
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep are you in debt?
Oh God.
Currently 3.
Like as of just last night?
I mean, as a lifetime. Think about how much debt you must be in for sleep. If we're supposed to get 8 hours a night.
Years.
Dude, there was a new study I just read that said some people need
years.
9. They said the average like adult male needs 7 to 9 is what they're saying now. So this bullshit of you being able to exist on 6 hours of sleep, get it out of your system. Give me 9 hours of sleep and I'm perfect. I'm crushing every podcast. 8 hours, I'm fine.
Dead.
7 hours, oof. I start to forget words and who brought up the king size discussion.
9 hours of sleep sounds excessive as a recommendation, just given how we live our lives.
And also that it's a
24 hours.
Yeah, 8's like a third of your day. Like I think let's just say the number is 8. Because you got to think about all the times that maybe you've made profit and the times during the summer where I've slept 12 hours or 13 hours or 11 hours and then immediately ruin that by 4 hours and then 6 hours the next day and 7 hours the next day. Like, Kevin, do you think you like you're years in debt by this point?
I honestly have to assume that I'm years in debt at this point because, like, I want to say for easily 15 years of my life, I slept like 5 hours of sleep every night.
Why?
Easily. Why?
Just because of circumstances?
There's stuff to go on.
It's just there was too many things to do. You know what I mean? There was too many shows to binge. Like this is when downloading was just what I did all day. You know, just consume. You know how many Naruto episodes I've seen?
Yeah,
you can't sleep when you're trying to do that shit.
As many hours of in dead of sleep you are.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for me, I think there was a switch I flipped right around like late 20s where I just realized that I just needed sleep and to function. Specifically, like when I started doing stuff like this, I would notice that if I was shaving hours of sleep off of my nights, that if we ever did anything come Thursday, Friday, I just couldn't connect the dots mentally. So for me, I always like to get at least 8. Sometimes I'll push it like 8.5 or 9 if I can, because that's ideal for me. But that's just where I feel better. If I get 7, I start to feel a little bit like I should take a nap to some degree.
Yeah, sometimes you take a nap and maybe you're adding to your surplus or whatever. But I'm kind of with Kevin. I got to assume that my college years were impacted the most, for sure. Like just
on both sides of the spectrum.
Dude, I used to
getting no sleep and then getting so much sleep.
Dude, my buddy Ed had a couch outside on his patio. Was it sticky? Yes. Was it because it was underneath a pine tree with gigantic spiders in them that we would just get like every once in a while you'd catch a glimpse of and you'd be like, don't shine light over there ever again. Those things are going to kill us. We used to stay up till 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Then I'd go home and I'd sleep until like noon. And then I'd have to get up and try to be at a thing by like 3. It was the worst thing for your body.
Yeah.
It was fun.
The interesting thing about sleep is that I feel like there's a point where there's like a middle amount of sleep I feel like it's not good. where I'd almost rather have like the 4 or 5 hours than to be stuck in the 6 or 7 hour. And that's when I feel like groggy and gross if I'm not going to get a full hours. Because that's like essentially what happened last night. We stayed up to watch Loki till like 1. That means that I'm inevitably talking about Loki and like figuring out theories till 2. Then I have to do my mandatory like 45 minutes to an hour and a half of TikTok till like 3. And then I woke up at like 7:30 because I had to move my car for street sweeping. So I feel like I'm now in the sweet spot of like the sleep deprived but functioning. But if I get like 6.5, then it's just like, oh, I feel like tired and sluggish and gross all day.
There is that like weird threshold, right? Where if you do get like 6 on the dot, you're just loopy, but it's a fun loopy. And your brain's like, I'm connecting, but I'm on a different wavelength where I'm slightly weirder and a little bit slower on the uptick. But in general, like, this is funny. Deal see this, like, if it's a Friday night, we have nothing to do the next Saturday. I'm like, yay, I'm a child. I get to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. But of course, she's an adult and she wakes up at 8. And so she'll crack the door open at like 10 o'clock and just see if I'm there. And then I'm just groggy all day, and I hate that feeling. So I've actually trained myself to, like, when I can take nap. I used to never be able to take naps, but now I try to pop off for like an hour just to reinvigorate the old brain. Because they say when you take a nap, it like washes your brain out, which is cool.
I napped today for 2 hours. I was saying this before the show started. Like I had just woken up and I was all scared. Do you guys wake up scared from naps?
Oh, every
time.
100%. Naps are the worst, man. You want them so bad, it's never worth it when you wake up.
Oh, I love it.
Like, what the fuck's happening? Where am I?
I get real
sweaty
like,
always.
I love it, dude. Because you're like, I'm just gonna sleep. Like the worst is when you just lay down on a couch or something in your jeans and the sweatshirt, and you wake up and your ears, the back of your ears are sweating. You're like,
you're just disgusting. You're drenched.
And your neck hurts.
You got the weird,
no, for sure. It could be 62 degrees and you're still sweating somehow. I don't know how.
See, I love that feeling. I love the feeling of, am I gonna be able to sleep? Am I gonna be able to sleep? And then you kind of just wake up an hour later and you just feel disoriented, but then like 15 minutes later, you're super refreshed and you're ready to go out and have fun. What did Felicia Day call it? The disco nap?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I like.
Disco nap.
Smart. You do have to do them during conferences, though. Like, that's the pro move. You can train yourself, Andy, when we go to Vancouver E3 2022.
Oh, yeah. Edmonton.
When we go to that, you do it. That's a skill to be able to like shut down for like an hour, quickly take a nap, and then be able to hit the parties at night.
I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. That is a skill that I have not acquired. It doesn't seem to be in my skill tree trajectory.
Really
well, and here's why. I think because you always have Gia with you. I think if Gia didn't come on this trip, you would feel like I don't got to be awake for anybody right now. Because I've often done the thing where if I'm flying to a convention, we got to be out of this thing by 8 p.m. I'm getting into the hotel, checking in by 3. I'm napping for at least 3 hours, and it's going to feel fantastic. And you wake up, and you just kind of get ready to go. Like, yesterday was a good nap day for me. After all of E3, after a few nights of, or a few hours of sleep every night, after we got to that little break, seeing a 3-hour window going, all right, I'm going to nap here. Slept an hour and a half. And then waking up and seeing a lot of people and Tim mentioning on Slack, hey, we're not going to cover this and this thing. Good E3, everybody. I was like, oh, fuck yes, I'm going to nap again. And I did, and it was great, and I feel fantastic.
Nap.
I did a little... real quick, Tim, I was going to say, I did a little math. If you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep a night, and this is all just kind of like estimated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I multiply that by 365.
Per year, yeah.
I multiply that by 33, and that's 96,360 hours.
I would have loved it if you're like, that's 96 hours.
I can catch up.
96,360.
Sure.
Yeah.
I am going to guess and estimate.
96,000.
That's a lot.
I'm going to estimate that I have slept at least 6 hours on average.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do the math, it looks like I'm around 24,000 hours in debt.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of hours, dude.
Like 25%, right? Give or take.
I don't think it needs necessarily to work that way. I think that they say that there was a while. I remember seeing a headline maybe like 6-7 years ago that was like, you can't catch up on sleep. And then of course there's always another one like a year later. It's like, you can catch up on sleep. Like, sleep more. It'll be better for you. But I think
apparently 1,000 days in debt. 1,000 days.
1,000 days. You better start now.
You have the next 3 years.
You have about a week of vacation time saved up this year. So if you want to take that off and just sleep the entire time, I wouldn't hold that
entire time. You can't wake up though. You have to sleep the entire time.
What a great like that weekend after E3 feeling. Do you guys have that right now? Or is it not quite there yet?
No. We haven't taken any time off. It's still there.
No, you know what I mean? But like, I'm talking about like, we hit like Friday of E3, right? Or Thursday, when does E3 historically end? Thursday?
Well, I mean, here's the reality. This year is so different than any other, where this is less work than E3 normally is because
we're not walking the show floor.
Yeah, normal years would be we do everything we just did, and then we're on the show floor playing games and doing the capture and all that stuff. Like, we got off easy this time, where it's just like, okay, do some fucking conferences that everything is definitely between this time in the morning and this time at night. That's it. That is it.
But all of that is more than our regular work. You know what I mean?
No.
No.
Like last week. So this week has thrown us off because it's more work than 2 weeks ago.
We have been reacting to more things than we would.
You guys are still adding like 6 more hours to our day. Right. Sure. But I mean, but I love that feeling of getting, especially when we actually used to do, and this is no disrespect to like what my job is now at E3, but when I had a real ass job where I had to like cart a camera around and then I had to come back and what did he say? What did he fucking say to me, Tim?
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
Did you get the Scooby-Doo DS off-screen footage? And I'm like, I'm gonna murder you, Fran. By the way, I posted a picture of Fran on my Instagram the other day. I love just to be funny, and it got more likes than any of my other pictures. So it was now I'm going to just be posting Fran pictures on my Instagram.
I'm glad that you're bringing this up. Why? Just because?
Because I know it makes Tim laugh. Mostly because I think Tim will get.
It made me laugh hard. I love that picture of Fran. I love Fran. I love that. Of course, Fran and Scooby-Doo had to goddamn come up.
Of course.
I'm just saying that feeling of like it's Friday, right? We all take the Friday off. Maybe bum around LA. Maybe Tim and I go to the Comedy Store or whatever. Your feet hurt. You're hungover, but you know it would be good, like a burrito and another cocktail,
and another cocktail.
And then you just take off the rest of the weekend to just do nothing, sleep in. Those are the days. Job well done, well earned.
Did you all see? Oh, sorry. You got a question?
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of the complete opposite, we have a question from Lexi Gunner on Patreon, but we can get to that in a second. Andy, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna mention I was listening to Lebitard show, my daily requirement to mention the show, and there was a soccer player that collapsed and died on the field, and they brought him back to life in Denmark.
Holy shit!
Ooh, that was
that
was a journey of a sentence.
I had no idea it was a. I had no idea it was a thing. He collapsed. He went into cardiac arrest.
Jesus.
And there's this video of him on the field, and he's like jogging, and then he just loses it, and then just falls.
Just had a heart
and
attack.
Everybody immediately like, shit, get over here! And like the paramedics come on the field and everything, and like he's dead, and they bring him back to life with the fucking what are they called?
Defibrillators.
Yeah, they bring a defibrillator and bring him back to life, but the whole team is kind of huddled around him, and like so the cameras aren't really seeing him, and it is just. I couldn't believe it was an actual thing. I thought like, oh, is this a story from a long time ago? No, it happened like last week.
Dude, and I was listening to a podcast like a month ago. There was a similar thing, but there's an extra added element of this dude died and the defibrillator like brought him back. But the thing was, he had a life sentence in jail.
Oh, I know about this. Yeah. And so he was like, I died. I finished the sentence. And they're like, nah.
No,
that doesn't work, bro.
That's cool,
speaking of random soccer news, did you see that Cristiano Ronaldo news?
Yes.
Coke water thing.
Coke water thing.
Gosh, what's this?
So ridiculous. He was at a press conference for like after a game or something, and they had Coke was sponsoring it, and there was 2 bottles of Coca-Cola sitting on the table as like someone had put them there. Presumably as product sponsorship.
Yeah, that's always what they do.
Yeah, you know, they put them on there like you see it. And he just takes them off and puts a bottle of water on there and he says agua and he takes a drink out of it. And then Coke stock like dipped $4 billion or something like that. This is the kind of shit. This is why I don't ever do anything athletic, ladies and gentlemen. But you know who does? Lexi Gunner. Okay. Lexi kind of wrote into Patreon. Of course, Lexi, a longtime supporter of what we're doing here, wrote and said, "Hey guys, this weekend I entered myself into the Tough Mudder Challenge as a means to test my overall endurance and physical strength as an old over 30 fogey. Have you guys ever wanted to enter any nationwide challenge or competition? Thanks for being great," asks Lexi.
Fuck no.
No, Lexi. Is the Tough Mudder one where you have to run through like an electrified thing?
Yes.
An
I'm
kind
of into.
You're crawling underneath the rope. Yeah.
She has done it.
It looks like an army crawl thing.
It doesn't make sense though. Like half mile or like what? Half marathons or the 5Ks.
I don't want to be.
And it's like, get out of here. Stop it. Stop with your.
I don't want to be
Marvel themed one. Should you guys
I'll
do
be
it?
cleaning mud up out of my ass for the next 2 weeks. Like, no, thank you, dude.
I think it's yeah, exactly, Andy.
True.
What's different? You have all those snacks from Walgreens, 1 out of every 5 times. It's gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's super cool that people do this, and let's just put it this way: I'm impressed by anyone that runs. If you go out for a run, and like when Tim's running on his treadmill, I'm like, I'm so impressed by that. It looks like so much work to get your body to move like that.
Nick says this as if he's standing watching me do it. He's like, "Oh, I'm just so impressed with this."
No, in my brain, and I forget where it was. Someone can help me out. We saw the silhouette of a person on running. I think maybe it was a Photoshop challenge, Andy. And that's what it was. It was a Photoshop challenge last week, and it was Tim running on a treadmill. So now in my brain, I'm like, I've seen Tim run on a treadmill.
I love it. I love it. But dude, these things the obstacle courses are so cool, and it's just like I don't want to do the Tough Mudder shit because I don't want to be that level of competition with actual trained athletes and all that shit. But like, you take a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing. Like, there's this show that I keep seeing commercials for.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Wipeout?
Close. It's called Holy Moly.
Yep.
I love Holy Moly. Where's Mike? We were just talking about this.
Dude, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it, but
that's Steph Curry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? It's the funny like dude from 21 Jump Street. I don't remember. Rob Riggle. Yeah, he's like the host of it. But it's essentially extreme mini golf.
Yeah.
But you also, to get to the next hole, you need to like do a whole bunch of crazy obstacles. Kev, can you bring up Holy Moly 3D is the new season?
I love Holy Moly.
And like I
was a hater.
Pay so much money for all of Kind of Funny to have to compete in Holy Moly.
The amount of network TV shows that exist just baffle me. I cannot believe these shows exist and still run. Yeah, look, I love an obstacle course. Like if we were to do something super silly and simple and not like American Ninja Warrior type shit, like if I just had to like jump on some things and swing across a thing and then climb a fucking like nothing too wild, but enough that I could do it. Yeah, I love shit like that. But when I think of Tough Mudder, that's another level.
That's another level.
I respect the hell out of you, and I am rooting you on. But goddamn, I could never do that.
And that's the thing too. Is like obviously there's two different.
Finding this place,
I'll help you.
Obviously, like if you're doing this like super competitive, it's a different level. But it sounds like Lexi's just doing it to kind of challenge herself, get through that that level of, and I think that's pretty cool. Like I'm all for stuff like that. I'm not huge for like nationwide competition stuff though. That just scares me. I'm not a competitor. I'm a collaborator. This guy's got an amazing hat on.
The show has Josh McCouga written all over it.
Yeah.
Oh. Is it coming back? Well, obviously it's coming back.
Like this is just the golf aspect of it.
There it is.
This is all the crazy.
Amazing. How have I never seen? Oh, that looks like a fucking blown knee right there. You are blowing your knee out.
This is what the golf like in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they just both eat shit. This is
the thing is, I don't want to deal with water. There's nothing worse than having water go up your nose. It's just the worst thing ever.
What if we get you one of those little clip things?
If I could vote for things I want to feel least, like water shooting up your nose is top 5.
First off, shout out to Rob Riggle. Second off, I what if they were like, we need the whole Kind of Funny team to do this? It's Kind of Funny versus, I was gonna say Funhouse, but they'd smoke us because they work out. Who's another group that wouldn't? I don't know. Anyway, another group that's like us. Would we do this? Are we in?
Yeah. 100%.
Yes.
I think we have to, just because it's
like,
so
even if
funny.
We think we're gonna lose. Like even if it was
who cares?
Funhouse, like whatever.
I think if Funhouse was like, we want to compete against you in Holy Moly, I feel like there would be zero hesitation.
Andy, can you tweet at Funhouse and ask them if they'd compete? And then, of course, do the thing that Greg does where they tag Holy Moly and then all of a sudden want Holy Moly. Can you tweet at them and say, hey, would you compete against us in Holy Moly? And then tweet at Steph Curry, be like, hey, good game last night. If you
and then
one.
say no cheating.
No, they're out of the playoffs.
Sorry about that, Steph. Then tweet at Steph and be like, sorry about the playoff stuff.
I sent you another video that has it's a greatest hit, so it's just a bunch of the dumb shit.
Sorry about the playoffs.
There's just something like, dude, every once in a while, American Ninja Warrior will be on. I'll just see. Remember, I think we were at a bar one time, Tim. I'm like, I just have to watch this. I just have to watch it. It's so fascinating to see.
But like, imagine us doing this. Like, okay, let's take Barrett Courtney, right? Like, imagine
Barrett's gonna
Courtney.
No, here's why. Let me tell you one thing right now about Barrett. Barrett's getting a bloody nose. Barrett's the kid that gets the bloody nose. I don't know how or why, but he's gonna get hit by that thing and a bloody nose.
Gets the bloody nose.
Who is?
Blessing. He has a bloody nose.
Oh, does Blessing get bloody noses?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Christ.
That's a real thing then. Maybe okay. So
what
Barrett's the kid that gets
flamethrowers.
Barrett's the kid that gets his skin knee, and he's just like.
Here's the thing. Like I don't think any of us are walking out of here unscathed.
No, we're blowing our tendons out. Man, I slacked Snowbike Mike 5 minutes ago. We first started talking about this. We're talking about Holy Moly, and man, granted I spelled it Holly Molly, but he should know what I'm talking about, and I wish he was in here for this. But
Holy Moly doesn't.
Friends in town.
Holy Moly doesn't even have a Twitter account.
Hey, Kev, can you go back like 10
in the
seconds?
chat. Mike, come in here and talk about freaking Holy Moly with us.
They do.
They do. Holy Moly ABC. Got it.
Unless the boys are there, in which case, just enjoy your weekend. Enjoy yourself.
Stay here. So there's this one thing I want to know if any of us think we can do.
3D and 2D.
There's a zip line. The zip line where you go down and then you have to jump off and grab that pole.
Oh,
dude, that's gonna hurt.
See, that's the thing.
Why would you? I would grab with my legs.
If you got taken out by one thing, what would you want to get taken out by?
I want to do that one. I don't want the porta potty.
The porta potty?
No.
Mike, Snowbike Mike joining us for the first time ever on this podcast. What's going on, Snowbike Mike?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy to be here and happy to talk reality extreme sports television with you because I love this stuff.
Now, Mike, would you rather be taken out by a pot to the face or the porta potty or the windmill?
Oh, the windmill for sure, man. You see how that whips that lady off the side of that platform?
Oh, I want to see that one more time, Kev. She was so ready and waiting.
She timed that so right. It was like she looked away from her controller for a second and then looked back and it just got slammed. Oh, what a terrible
You can't
thing.
underestimate the speed on that shit. But again, Mike, is there any worse feeling than water shooting up your nose? That's not the
Andy,
worst.
it's the worst. Tim Gettys and the crew. Andy, to repeat that, I literally jump off of diving boards and I plug my nose and I look like I'm a 4-year-old child.
Yeah.
And I look at people and like, nothing's worse than getting water shot up your nose.
I don't want to be spitting boogers out. Just like, no, I hate that.
I'm the booger king, dude. I love it.
No, the worst is when you're in the ocean and you're spitting out the salty boogers and you're just like, it's so salty. I don't like it. I don't know.
Why is so much water going in your? Breathe out when you go in the water. Breathe out through your nose and then you have no problems.
Do that?
Yeah, who can do that? I look like a marine.
Bunch of children here that don't understand the mechanics of diving.
Kevin, how about
into a pool.
How about you try this? How about you try to exhale out of your nostril and talk?
Oh, nope, can't do it. Can't be done. I'm not talking when I'm diving. And you've never seen me. You've never seen me in a pool. It's where
it reminded me of this. It's a TikTok trend right now where people are just recording themselves trying to like. You cannot. It's physically impossible to exhale out of your nose and talk. There's that one from Joe Santagato or whatever. What's his name? That YouTuber's been around for ages. I forget his name. But there's a video.
Guy?
No, there's a video of him on TikTok, and he's like, I can't do it. It's
I feel like I feel like if you're gonna exhale and talk, you're just gonna be Christian Bale from Dark Knight, right?
That's a good point.
No, maybe it's inhale through your nose and talk.
No, you can't inhale and talk.
You can't do it. There's a muscle that, like, I think I'm pretty sure that there's like the muscle protects you from like choking. So you can't do certain things while you're inhaling.
Doing the in and the out. Yeah, that makes sense. Mike.
Why is Tim wearing sunglasses?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
His future's too bright. He's got to wear shades.
Yeah, it is inhaling. My bad.
See,
inhaling.
Now, Nick, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but Tim with the shades, you got to remember when you go onto these reality extreme sports shows, you have to have a gimmick, right? So when you watch Wipeout, they come out and they're like, we're muralists from San Francisco. We'll paint your kindergarten's mural. And it's like, who the hell's a muralist, right? You've never heard of that before. So like, what would be the gimmick, right? How are you selling yourself to be on that?
You got to make yourself memorable. Yeah.
You know?
Tim has been waiting for someone to ask him this question for his entire life.
Seriously.
No, I don't know. I promise you guys I'm not going to go on too long about this, and it's worth it. Every single season of Bachelor and Bachelorette, the first episode, a limo pulls up and 30 men or women get out and they meet them all. So they all need to stand out. They need to have their fucking moment. And every season, there's a weirdo that dresses like something inappropriate. Like this woman's dressed like a shark, but she keeps saying it's a dolphin. And it's like, okay, that's weird. Or like this person's dressed, it just came in a box, like a big box. And it's like, okay, whatever. This season, episode 1, Joey, you, as I live and breathe, you were with me and saw this happen. This dude shows up dressed like a cat, full on cat, little cat paws, little cat things, cat whiskers.
Yes.
She was so into this guy, and by the end of the episode, they were making out harder than we've ever seen in episode 1 make out. And it's this dude in full cat outfit, and he brought cat stuff for her, so she had little cat paws and cat ears, and they're just making out on ABC. And he pulls away, and then she just has cat makeup smeared all over her face from his face, and then she has to go talk to the other men. All of this is fantastic. Anyway, to answer your question, Mike, I don't know, man. I feel like I would just, the best gimmick I could have is to just be authentically me, because then people are going to be like, okay, there's something there. This guy's saying yo a lot. This guy is all about the dudes and shit. Like, at least there's some fun. If I tried to do anything, it wouldn't come off well at all.
Now,
Nick?
I'm gonna throw this out on the table as 2 potential options, and everyone can go vote for which one they want. One, obviously, Tim's into bomber jackets. We could go as all of our Top Gun aliases, right? Obviously, Snowbike Mike is, what was it? Fist of Fury? Wave Break.
Yep.
Joey, what was yours?
Really good.
I think I was Firefly.
You were Firefly. I can't remember what mine was. This is a terrible joke.
I wrote these down.
You wrote them down. Pull them up for you.
I think you were just Cheeto Fingers, weren't you?
I was Cheeto Fingers. That's right. I was Cheeto Fingers. Get dust all over the cockpit, Andy. That's what we were talking about.
No, Mike was Jet Wash.
Jet Wash. That's the word. Yes, because when you go in my way, your plane will never stay the same. You know, that was the rule. Don't go.
You're gonna go to flat spin in the jet wash.
But wave break is like really cool too.
Yeah, dude. Wave break is fucking like, dude. Shout out to like GI Joe and Transformers toys, because like I love that they're just like, okay, this thing is it's a jet ski. Let's call it Sea Spray. It's like fuck yeah.
Or so that's your first option. Option 2, we show up to Holy Moly as the San Francisco Cats. We're all dressed like cats. We double down on the cat costume.
I've always wanted this.
And we just, whenever anyone says anything to him, we have like a choreographed move where we're like, yeah. You know, that's like how we answer questions.
Nick, I'm loving
you. Imagine all of us in a line.
Yeah. And Tim, if you want to combine your two loves, my love of cats and your love of bomber jackets, we all wear cute bomber jackets on top of the cats.
Hold on, your love of cats. God. I guess we're also wearing flip-flops, aren't we?
Are we wearing flip-flops?
No, that would not be smart strategically. Let's be smart about this, guys. Come on.
There is nothing SF about a cat. Like, I don't know why.
The San Francisco cat.
I just want one day for all of us to just go to a party or some sort of organized event where people were super happy to invite us, and we show up and we're all dressed as cats.
We can just be the cats. We don't have to attach San Francisco to it.
San Francisco cats, alley cats. We're the alley cats.
I don't like that you're just stealing my Halloween thing.
Okay, it was our Halloween thing. I agree to it. You came up with it first, and then I showed up as a cat, and you showed up as a broke ass Jon Snow.
Okay, it was not a broke ass Jon Snow.
It was Jon Sleet.
It was really good Jon Snow. It was a good Jon Snow. Oh wait, or were you? What's her name?
No, he was. I feel like you were a good Jon Snow.
I'm just mad because we were all supposed to show up as cats. Kevin, I'd like to apologize for calling it a broadcast Jon Snow.
We were not all supposed to show up as cats.
We did.
I would also like to clarify.
It's just hard when you have a loving partner.
We also talked about X-Men and like a bunch of other stuff.
My wife doesn't come to stuff. We talked about X-Men. We talked about cats. We all agreed that Kind of Funny is about the path of least resistance. Cat costumes super easy to get. So I said cats. Cool. I bought mine. Showed up as a cat. My wife loaned me a little fanny pack, so people didn't have to see my unmentionables.
God, because they were right there.
Kevin was Jon Snow.
Yeah, they were very busy.
I think Andy just wore a T-shirt too. Sure. I don't even think Andy cared about this particularly.
They were Evan, can you bring this up, please, so that we can all go as this next year?
Yeah. San Francisco Cats.
I want everyone to imagine all of Kind of Funny wearing this costume and doing the patented Nick Scarpino Cats.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that. I got a Panther suit already. I'm ready to go. I'm already ready,
dude.
I don't want
custom colors.
Is this a safe website? Colors. Is this a safe website?
Yeah,
VIPmascot.com. It's fine.
Hold on.
Have a little.
Go down, Kevin. Why is there an Acorn Pediatrics mascot costume? The bottom left.
Oddly specific.
Adventure Bernie mascot, man. We need all these costumes.
Is this what we do for the next RTX?
We don't have any room for that.
The next RTX, Joey, that's
hot.
115 degrees outside.
Yeah.
No, we don't do this.
No, but Mike has the answer.
Sound safety.
Sound safety. What? Tell me. Oh, ice packs?
Yeah.
I got ice packs. Yo, I got these vests that are ice packs, bro. They'll keep you cool the whole time. They'll keep you cool until they melt 3 hours in, and then you're just wearing an extra 10-pound vest on top of
hot water.
But it's still cool. It's still cool. It's still super cool.
Okay, hold on. But why do you have these?
Well, I was the mascot back in the day. I was a mascot.
Got it.
The mascot was super cool. That's a different
story. You still
story.
have them just in case you're ever.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just to be clear, Andy, like the school did not have a mascot before he was there. He bought a mascot suit. It's his suit.
Showed up, didn't tell anybody.
The school took after the thing that you bought. Like they were called like the Eagles, and Mike bought a Jaguar thing. They're like, I guess we're the Jaguars now.
I guess someone go paint the helmets.
Oh my god. So yeah, I'm always ready.
I love that about you.
Always ready to get called off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could technically do it from the virtual at-home RTX event. You know what I mean? Everybody just sits there in their living room with a cat outfit on. Would be pretty funny.
I've been asked about this recently, since we're all vaxxed. We're all vaxxed now. We're all kind of we're about to get in the swing of things, right? I got a question recently about, hey Andy, have you all decided on when this basketball game is going to happen? And I said, no, still no, but obviously we're all vaxxed. We'd be more than comfortable playing basketball against each other in a spot that, maybe not a whole lot of people have been around. And I'm starting to, it's getting more and more real. It's gotten more and more legitimate. That's why I've been going to the gym. I want to be able to keep up with Cool Greg, who's going to be the most in shape out of all of us, for sure.
He's going to run smoke trails around all of us.
It's got to be me and Mike against Cool Greg. I can't, Mike, I need you on my squad.
We're going to go against Cool Greg?
We have to, dude. Like, there's
who are you stacking with the king? Who's his pickup squad?
Probably me, because I can't make a basket to save my life.
You put the smallest person in the company on his team along with the tallest person? But I got you, Nick. I got to give you one today. I got to give you one, bro.
That's fine. That's fine. That's totally acceptable.
That was a lot, Mike.
I loved it.
Here's the thing. You said that, and then I was like, I just feel bad for Cool Greg. Like, I'm thinking about how disappointed, because Cool Greg will never say it. But deep down, he'll be mad about it. Nick is fucking terrible. And this is the point of pride.
No, like, Nick, hands down, within like 10 minutes, you'll make it a joke. And like Cool Greg will keep trying, but you'll just be like, this is funny. Look, it's funny. Like, I'm trying.
No, if Cool Greg was like,
hurt Cool Greg.
If Cool Greg was serious about it, I would try my hardest. But I do think that I'm just so out of shape for basketball that
we've seen
I think I'd roll a heel and just be done. But like, how good do we think Greg Miller is at basketball?
I know for a fact.
Shocked.
I think Greg bad laughing, but
I think Greg Miller, if you put him near the backboard, he will get some shots. Like, here's the thing, Tim. We're not asking Greg to hit mid-range or three-point shots. Mm-hmm. We're just asking him to be around the basket, catch some rebounds, maybe put it back up in the hoop. Maybe the ball hits enough parts of the backboard and rim that it eventually, by luck, falls in.
It's like when you put a monkey in front of a typewriter, eventually they come up with some Shakespeare novel.
I mean, the difference between this is the monkey can't hurt the typewriter. Greg Miller, like, I understand more than anybody, guys. I understand. I am in a glass house and I am just launching stones left and right. I am not at all trying to act like I have anything on anybody in any sense of the words. But Greg Miller, there's a special quality to the way that man moves when he's trying to be agile.
Yeah.
Normally, he
like
moves
the
fine.
dance choreography.
But when he's trying to do something, oftentimes I catch myself looking at him being like,
Tim,
I'm gonna keep my distance.
Tim, you'd be surprised at the amount of big men in the league that are just like Greg. Like, right, Mike? There's tons of big men in the league that are so uncoordinated. You don't ever want to see them dribble the basketball. And they do not dribble the basketball because they know that they're going to fumble it off their foot or something like that. They're just there to get rebounds, and maybe pass to the open person, maybe just try to put the ball back. So, like, there's tons of people in that role that, commentators will make fun of when you see the big guy dribbling down the court and they're like, "Oh, pass it. Come on, big fella. Like, don't do this. You're going to look like an idiot." So it's not that rare.
Watching Greg do stuff, though, is kind of like when you watch people do those challenges where they play a game, but I do half the controller and you do half the controller, you know? And it's just like, oh, we're going to run into a wall a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for your podcast. We're going to go out on that one. Of course, we love you very, very much. As always, if you want to back this podcast and listen to our post show, you can go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny right now, like all those other people did. Probably won't get this one, but you will get this one. And you can hear our post show. We usually do a nice little roundabout where we get in the nitty gritty. Let's hear what Andy really thinks about Greg's lack of ability. And of course, if you don't have any bucks to give, no big deal. Just hit that subscribe button and leave a comment in the comments below letting us know who should be on Cool Greg's team and who should be on Andy's team and how I can get out of this madness, because I don't like it when Kevin laughs at me, and he's going to laugh a lot. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.